This week we visit Goliad Brewing Company in Goliad, Texas. With a population of around 2,000, Goliad, Texas is located about 155 miles southwest of Houston and 90 miles southeast of San Antonio. The brewery itself was established in April 2014 on 46.6 acres just outside the city limits. The property has 23.3 acre-feet of water it pumps from wells to make its beer.
How did the brewery get started?
Originally, the owners, there's a couple different owners actually, they had, a few of them are engineers and a few of them are contractors, and they had actually done a lot of different jobs for different breweries and food plants in the state, and they're all from Texas. It kind of just developed, hey, we should build our own brewery, and that's kind of the way they looked at it. And as they developed the ideas to build a brewery, they said, well, we better hire somebody to run it for us, and that's where I came in. I used to be a head brewer for Smoky Mountain Brewery in Knoxville, Tennessee. I ended up moving down to South Texas.
Okay.
So you had experience. Did they have experience, or did they just dream up one day to just start brewing beer?
Kinda. It was more like one of them was a home brewer, and the other ones, like I said, were engineers and contractors, and they had these ideas,
Gotcha.
and that's kind of how it started. I said, well, we could do that. Why can't we do that? You know, that kind of situation. And I think we all have friends like that, but these guys had the resources to back it up.
How did they end up settling on Goliad?
Well, one of the original owner's wives was from the area, so that was probably a part of it. Okay. But the main reason that they wanted this area is because property values were a little bit more accessible at the times before the oil boom had really made property pretty big. So they wanted to build a production brewery as opposed to like a brew pub. So more land means you're not landlocked, and we can grow the facility out, which we've already had to expand a couple times on our capacity. So we're not landlocked, and now we've got maybe 2.5 acres of the 50 acres spoken for by the brewery.
Okay.
So that was a big consideration, and the fact that we could use our own well water, and that's a marketing ploy all in itself. I mean, we do use our own water here. But Goliad, Texas has a very rich history in Texas. The original Declaration of Independence from Mexico was made here, and also the largest massacre in North American history on Palm Sunday in 1836
Okay.
by the Mexican Army.
Okay. How did you get interested in brewing? What brought you into craft beer in the first place?
As I got into college and you start trying better beers and stuff, and eventually I got to the point where I said, man, I got to make this stuff, you know, because I saw this kit for like $65. I'm like, yeah, we're going to go do this. We're going to go make some beer. Well, the first batch was awful, so, you know, I got a couple books and I started reading up on what we had done wrong, and then all of a sudden we're turning out pretty good beer on a regular basis, and we're starting to enter competitions. After I graduated college, I said, man, maybe that's what I should do. You know, I was actually already a server and a bartender at a restaurant at my old brewery for a brew pub, and then I just asked the brewmaster, are you guys hiring? And he said, yeah, we're hiring truck drivers. So that's what I did, is I delivered kegs, and I cleaned kegs and scrubbed floors and everything else they need me to do for a few months, and then a position opened up on the brew house, and he knew about my background home brewing, so that's when he said, hey, would you like to learn brew house?
Okay.
And of course.
What was your major in college?
Mechanical engineering.
Okay, so you do have the technical to craft beer side going with you.
Yeah, like my dad was a mechanic growing up too, so I've always been around equipment and vehicles and other things, just working on my own stuff.
Okay, because as we'd said, a lot of the craft brewers start from a technical field, be it computer science or engineering, and
or chemistry or something.
Gravitate to that, and the idea of creating the distinct craft, customized brews just takes them away.
Yes. Oh yeah, and actually I'm happy to be where I'm at now doing what I'm doing, because before I had worked my way up to a head brewer there, but I still wasn't making recipes and stuff. I could make suggestions, and sometimes the brewmaster would appreciate it, but it was his stuff, so I'm happy I'm in a position now where I have an opportunity to kind of see what I can do, and so far so good, I guess.
You're currently open on Saturdays. Is there any intent to open on Fridays as well, or are you going to stick to the Saturday schedule?
Well, yeah, we want the beer garden to grow and to be really its own independent business inside of our business. And it is. Originally, we were only doing it twice a month. Now we're doing it every Saturday from noon to 7. And we've already done one event on a Friday. We're looking to do that, but we got to develop it and really make sure we advertise appropriately. Long term, we're talking about maybe doing a movie night on Friday nights. and maybe some other limited activities, and maybe private events also for people to maybe rent out the facility if they were doing a banquet of some sort. We do 2 tours a day. We were originally doing 3 tours a day, but the bands, we have live music on Saturdays, so it was kind of conflicting a little bit with that. So we just started doing it twice a day, once at 1 o'clock and once at 2 o'clock, and just a complete run through the facility.